It's time for another Dreadnought. This time it's Ripper from the G.I. Joe Classified series. And just looking at the box here, this is an exciting one to open for a couple reasons. Notably for me is the fact that he has like an open mouth face sculpt, which is kind of something unusual with the G.I. Joe line, Cobra, or Joe. They're usually very stoic, very put together, whereas Ripper looks a little more unhinged, which is a perfect fit for the Dreadnought. So without further ado, let's open up this guy and see what he's all about. And here he is in just the figure carton here. We gotta unbox him just a little bit more. I gotta cut the tabs on the back, but you can kind of already get a sense of what this guy looks like. Very exciting. Let's get him out. This is a first and possibly a last, and I know it's a very small detail, but I just wanted to point it out, and that is on the back of the box there is this additional hole cut out, and that is for the peg system on the back of his harness. Now what that will fit, I don't know, but let's take a closer look at the figure. Now he came out around the same time that Buzzer did, and Ripper here does look to take that Dreadnought's extreme 90s attitude and make it classified. I can tell that there's already so many great details, and as I bend the figure, it's a little tough to bend, and the reason for that is because his arm spikes and bicep spikes, they're hurt. Like, they hurt. They're very sharp. His arms are a little bit stiff. I'm not having the same issues with the legs. This guy's going to have some really great range of motion in the abs because there's really nothing impeding him, so that can kind of crank back way far. I mean, he can see airplanes coming from a mile away, which is great because I should probably be getting an update on the Dragonfly helicopter at some point. His necklace looks like some kind of razor blades there. I thought they were dog tags at first, but I don't think that's the case. And there are more than a few spots to put some of his accessories on him. Let's get a really good close look at that face sculpt there because that is really well done. This looks like an unhinged Cobra character, and it fits the role perfectly. Here is his accessories pouch here, and I can't wait to see what's included. Here we have one of the cardboard inserts here. This is going to keep the accessory weapon flat. We'll have to open that up separately. We have this extremely cool Jaws of Life situation here, and it does clam open and closed. And then we have the more delicate, smaller accessories right here. He has his sunglasses. These are like wraparound pit vipers. It's very fitting for Cobra. This gnarly looking knife with a grip on the knuckles. Not only is this a pistol, it's also a knife. So far with all of his accessories, they can rip things open, which is fitting for a guy named Ripper. Now this cardboard package right here from the box is his rifle of some kind. And once we get this open, we'll kind of get a better idea if it also follows the theme of Ripper. Can't imagine it wouldn't at this point. And here is the rifle. It does have a pointy, sharp bayonet at the end there. I did drop the magazine when I was opening up the box, so I'm gonna have to look for that. Thankfully, I found it. It is just that tiny. I'll see how well it fits back into this thing. There should be a registration kind of mark. If you can see this tiny piece, there is a longer edge to that side, and that is the one that fits into the magazine a lot easier than the skinnier end. There's not a whole lot of grip to it, which I'm guessing is why it fell out in the first place. So let's start putting some of his accessories on him. To start with, we are going to sheathe the knife, and that goes right into his rig there. On his right leg here is a holster for his pistol with a knife. That square peg is going to fit the trigger well for his weapon, so we just slot that in. I'm not quite sure the way or the proper way it's supposed to go. I think it looks kind of cool like that, like it's slung over, but I don't know if that's going to be the best fit. Well, when we get it over to the table, we'll take a closer look. But I want to get his main giant accessory on, the Jaws of Life. And the reason that it's on the left side that I'm going to do it this way is because I feel like he's going to get a little better range of motion from his butterfly joint than if he were on the right side with these frag grenades on his harness. That looks really good. Of course, the last piece to put on him now are his Pit Viper style sunglasses. We'll see if those fit over his ears. We had a little bit of problem with Buzzer, or it didn't really fit, so I'm hopeful Ripper is a little bit different. And here is the moment of truth. I think this is going to fit a whole lot better just based on the face sculpt here. And yes, It does. Is it the most perfect fit, most secure fit? No, but it is definitely workable and completes the look of the character. I'm really excited to get this guy over to the table, so let's not wait any longer, shall we? Here, we'll pull Ripper a little bit closer to the camera here. This is a fantastic figure. He's got these really cool tattoos. He's got this harness that holds his main weapon here. But that's really, I guess, that's his main gun weapon. This is really his main weapon, this Jaws of Life, that does open and close. It's actually geared so that you can open and close just one, and the rest of it follows along. It's a really great accessory here. This is something phenomenal that gives Ripper here much to talk about. Let's remove this accessory for just a little bit because he has so much more here to look at. The one thing I'm not crazy about is the way that the harness is with this assault rifle. Now, for starters, the magazine on this falls out super easy. As you saw initially, that fell out of the box and it was hard to get back and find, but I was able to do it, and it's just kind of shallow. And the issue is specifically how shallow the mag well is here. I can't insert it too far. It doesn't get a good grip, so this is something that I think is going to get lost. It's something that I think I'm going to store, actually. I'm not going to put it on his back harness, because if he were to, like, jump off the shelf, as figures tend to do, I don't think I'm going to be able to find that magazine. But he's got some other accessories here. So he's got this knife, and it is a really gnarly looking knife. It's got the serration there on the back. Again, giving some credence to the Ripper name. And how well does he hold that? He holds it really well. You can see just how that's molded over his knuckles. So that gives him a really great grip on that. And then we're going to pull out his sidearm here. This does have a knife on it as well. Everything about him is just pokey, prickly, and, you know, very Dreadnought-y. True to his name. I almost wonder if that's like the Mandalorian pistol, like, or at least a modification of it. Just the way that that trigger well is, it really makes me think of the Mandalorian's pistol. But there's enough modifications here that this is kind of a weapon on his own. Now, as you've been noticing here, as I've been playing with him, I do have his sunglasses on them, the Pit Vipers, which, well, I guess Pit Viper wannabes. It's probably Pit Cobras, right? Because he's a Cobra character. And when you get a really close look at his face, it is so well sculpted, and the fact that his sunglasses do fit over him really well and seat properly is something that Ripper definitely has over Buzzer here. These spikes on the gauntlet, spikes on the bicep, he's got the chain. This is Dreadnought through and through. This is a fantastic character. I really want to get a closer look at him, so let's get some cool shots, and then I will give you my overall thoughts of him. But if you don't know by now, they're extremely positive. An amazing character through and through. That is a G.I. Joe figure. It's really well posable, it has a lot of character, a lot of style, it definitely captures the essence and the theme of the Dreadnoughts within the Cobra enemy faction. Definitely a standout figure from last year that I hadn't got a chance to open yet. So I definitely recommend you getting one of these if you are into G.I. Joe at all. If this is a sign of Dreadnoughts to come, sign me up. This is a great figure. So that's it. I don't think I can gush about Ripper anymore. If you like Nerf blasters, if you like G.I. Joe and Cobra, and Dreadnoughts in this case, if you like action figures, toys, collectibles, things like that, be sure to follow along because I'm going to have a lot more videos for you coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.